Three.
Okay, this time we will talk about the D-access. So, D-access, of course, there should be an order. Same with access. So you have to verify first that there is an order for D-accessing Portacat as per protocol. Now, assuming the patient is connected to IV tubing. So first, of course, what you need to do, stop the infusion, stop it, and clamp this one. Of course, before touching the patient, you will follow the proper hand hygiene, hand washing before coming to the patient. And then before touching the patient, the 5 moments of hand hygiene, hand rubbing on the bedside. Okay, so I will do the hand rub. Okay. Make sure you always practice the 6 steps, huh? Not to just rub your palms. Okay. So I will close the clamp. Then I will stop the infusion, of course. Then I will disconnect it. By the way, all of this is unsteady at this moment. So I will explain the procedure to the patient, assuming the patient knows me from the beginning. He is my patient for discharge. So I will explain to him that I need to disconnect and I need to de-access the port as per the doctor's order. Then I remove it. The materials needed for de-accessing, we will talk about the materials. Of course, the PPE, gown, mask, and sterile gloves. You must have your sterile drapes, 2, your sterile gauze, 3 pre-filled syringes if there is, otherwise regular 10 ml syringes, sterile, ChloraPrep, alcohol swabs, enough to use for all your syringes, a band-aid. If you are using the regular band-aid, which is the color brown, that is unsterile. So you cannot put it inside your sterile table. But if this is the one you are using, the MEPOR, this is a sterile one. So you can put it inside your sterile area. And also, you must have a kidney basin, your offsite spray, alcohol spray to loosen the dressing, and of course, your heparin. Now, according to infection control, the heparin must be prepared from the medication room. So this one, I put a 500 units of heparin already, or 0.1 as per our protocol. So 0.1 prepared from the medication room, heparin. Make sure to have a label with red sticker, okay? And bring it together with your basin, okay? Not just hand it with your hand walking around, okay? So meaning this is unsterile. Later, I will put it in my 10 ml, or I will have someone to assist me and put it in 10 ml because I will be sterile. If you will be alone, if for example no one, of course you will practice one hand technique, making sure you are not breaking any sterility all throughout the procedure. So after completing, making sure that I have complete materials, I will perform my hand hygiene. I will prepare my sterile table. I have to clean it with disinfectant spray, with gauze to clean it. Same with the accessing procedure. So have a sterile table, okay? If you don't have, use the overbed table. Make sure it's you prepare it and clean it properly with disinfectant spray, okay? Then have do hand hygiene again. So okay, assuming I finished the hand hygiene, now I will open my sterile materials. So assuming these are packed, okay, with plastic. So again, you have to grasp the edge. You have to find the edge because this is the only part that you can touch. Because according to infection control, 1 inch of each side of the drape is considered unsterile. So grasp the first drape on the edge and put it over your sterile table. This is very big. Now, drop all your materials in the middle. Your chlorhexidine. If this is the one you're using, you have to drop it in the middle. Then your gauze and alcohol swabs. If you have someone to assist you, better she will be the one to open one by one and hand it over to you without touching the alcohol swab. But if you are alone, this is how you do it.